Hello, Vietnam friends. Bruce Wilson from sunny New Zealand. This presentation is how do I find the fee and make the sale in the diag. So, first, is find the desire. Find the thing that the business owner wants that makes them feel excited. So they want more money, but what do they want the money for? They want to grow their business, but why do they want to grow their business? Is it to show their family can be stronger than someone else's family? What is the desire? Number 2. Find the frustration. Find the thing that the business owner wants that they don't know how to get. So that's what I do before I meet for a diag. Find the desire, find the frustration. And then before the diag, they've seen the 6-step video, plus they've had the testimonial of people who have achieved the thing that they want to achieve. So find the desire, find the frustration. They get a 6-step video to watch and testimonials. In fact, testimonials, not just one. Then the next step is at the diag, I start with the purpose statement. Is it okay if I explain how we will make best use of our time here today? So I'm telling them that I want to explain how I'll make best use of the time. They will say yes. Then I say, so first I will tell you a small amount about Action Coach and how we work with business owners like you. Explain why I became a business coach. Then I'll look at where you are now and where you'd like to be, and propose some solutions that will move you from where you are now to where you'd like to be. And if we can both see the benefit of working together, I will show you how to get started here today, right now. Is that okay? So that is my purpose statement script. Most people say, yes, that's okay. Then number 2, I do the positioning. So the positioning explains about Action Coach, explains why I joined Action Coach and how we work with business owners. So I say, Action Coach was set up 26 years ago in Australia by a young man called Brad Sugars. He's only in his 40s now, but he trained as an accountant and learned very quickly that he liked to make money more than count money. So he studied how businesses grow. And after he studied how businesses grow, he put them into a system, which we'll go through today. And when he put that into a system, he then franchised it and took it all around the world. Countries like Spain, England, Ireland, Germany, United States, Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Australia, of course, and New Zealand, and then China, Singapore, and Vietnam for the last 6 years. So what that means is that any suggestions I make today have been proven to work in marketplaces all around the world by coaches coaching more than 11,000 businesses every working day. So the reason I joined Action Coach is that I was an independent consultant and looking to start up my own business. But I realized that Brad's system, A, was based on numbers, and B, was proven to work all around the world. So when I joined Action Coach, I went through an intensive training. I learned the systems and the structures, and I've been working with Action Coach since whatever date you have been working with Action Coach. So how we work with business owners is we have a meeting as we're having today, and if we decide to work together, we do what is called an alignment. And an alignment is where we look at your personal goals and your business goals, and we work out how to bring the personal goals and the business goals together. From that, we create an action plan, which means now you have a way of growing your business mapped out for the next 12 months. So that alignment is $1,995 plus tax, which means now you have a business plan and a roadmap for the next 12 months of how to grow your business. But that is not enough, because many people have got many plans all around the world. And what makes a business grow is the work that is done. And that's where the coaching comes in. So if we decide to work together, we work each week. We have a meeting to discuss one of the strategies on the action plan and how to implement it in your business. So let's say you worked 40 weeks of the year, and each week you made a small improvement. Over 12 months, over 40 improvements in a year, what difference would that make? And most business owners say, oh, that would be a big bit difference. Great. So the coaching starts at $495 plus tax per month for one of our group programs. One-on-one coaching starts at $995 plus tax per month for one-on-one, right up to our most advanced package we call Freedom Coaching, which is $3,500 a month for businesses who are on a very steep growth curve and know that they have the time and energy to do the improvements. So, does that all make sense, Mr. Business Owner? Yes. Great. So, tell me, how did you get mixed up? How did you develop this business? So now I'm getting them to tell me the story. So we're coming to point number 3. So point number 3 is I'm now asking questions. I'm asking questions about what's the marketing? Is it working? What are your frustrations? Some of the frustrations that I found from the business background questionnaire and the coach on deck call. I'm asking questions, but I'm really looking for the emotion. I'm looking for where does the business owner not know what to do? Where have they got a problem that they can't solve by themselves? So when I've asked the question and found the emotion, the next thing I do is look for the 6 steps and then the 5 ways. So they have seen the 6 steps on the video. I do a very quick 10-minute explanation of the different steps. And then I ask them where they think they are on the 6 steps. Do you feel you're at mastery, niche, team, leverage? After I've explained each level, where are they? And then I ask, would you like to know how we're going to fix your business? And most people say yes. This is where I do the 5 ways. So to do the 5 ways, we have so you know this equation. An important thing is that this is net margin. So it's the actual amount of money in net profit, not gross profit. Some people are confused. So when I do the 5 ways, the first thing I do from the business owner, if I have not got their profit and loss, some people will give it to me, some people don't. But the first thing I find out is the revenue. So number 1, what is your revenue per year or per month? What's your revenue per year or per month, whatever number they know, so that I can get their annual revenue, their yearly revenue. Then I talk about their profit. Now, if it is a big business, it will be the net profit. If it is a small business, sometimes they'll say they have maybe 100,000 in profit. And I ask, is that after you've paid yourself a wage? So in other words, this is the net profit, the business profit. So I get the number for this. So this is number 2. I get the revenue and then the net profit, which means I can now work out what their margin is. So number 3 is I work out their margin percentage, the percentage of revenue they take in net profit. So I've got their annual revenue, their annual profit, which gives me their net margin. The next thing I can work on is I can work on their number average sale. Now, at the start of doing the 5 ways, I say to them, these numbers will not be 100% accurate, but they're to show you the principle that Brad Sugar's discovered, the process to grow any business, which is small increases multiply to make a big result. So unless I've got the profit and loss, these numbers may not be accurate. They must be estimates by the business owner. So I'm doing number 4, average sale. Then I ask them the number of transactions. How many times does the average customer buy? Some customers buy once a year, sometimes people buy 5 times a year. But what is the usual number of times a year? This includes repeat customers. So if I have their annual revenue, I can divide the annual revenue by the average sale. And I can divide the annual revenue then by the number of transactions, which gives me the number of customers. So we've got the annual revenue, we've got their net profit, business profit, after they've paid themselves a wage to run the business. They've got their net margin. We've got your average sale and the number of transactions, which we divide into the revenue, which gives us the number of customers. Then at conversion rate, we have 2 conversion rates. We have new customers and we have repeat customers. So always the repeat customers will have a much higher conversion rate, could be 80%. But a new customer might only be 20%. So we take the average between the 2. And once again, I stress to the business owner, I say, these numbers are not 100% accurate. They will be when you're a client. But right now, they're just to illustrate the secret of business growth. Small increases multiply. So we have repeat and new, and then we divide the number of customers. Divide the number of customers by the conversion rate, gives us, so this is number 7 and number 8. So by dividing the number of customers by the conversion rate, we get the number of leads. So we can check this by asking them if these numbers seem close to be believable. Not accurate, because you're not a client yet, but are they believable? And some businesses are different. Some businesses only have a number of transactions of 1. Some businesses have a higher average sale and a low average sale, but the average. So once we have these numbers, then I suggest the strategies. So I'm going to draw another page. So So we got all of the numbers. Let's say, well, we use the action coach ones, 4,000. So I'm just using these numbers as an example. You'll use the business numbers that you've got from the previous thing, times 25% equals 1,000 times number of transactions 2 times 100 equals 200,000 times 25% equals 50,000. So at this point, I then start to suggest the strategies. Now, if they have an issue with margin, with productivity, the strategies are going to be in the margins. So for productivity, systemize the routine. Productivity time management. We'll also look at KPIs. So I'm giving them an idea of what we will do. And how I say it is, so, for example, you're saying that your productivity is really low. So you would say it's how many, what percent? 50% productivity, 60% productivity, 80% productivity, whatever they say. So you're doing 200,000 at 60% productivity. So if we can get that productivity up to, say, 75 or 80%, it's not going to cost you any more money to have more productivity. So that's going to make your profit go up straight away. So the way that we're going to do this is, number one, we're going to do what we call systemize the routine, humanize the exception. So we're going to look at your supply chain and how it works. And then we're going to improve each little piece on the supply chain so that your people know exactly what to do and when to do it. And we'll also start measuring the productivity of each worker. And you will say that some workers are just lazy. And I'm saying they're only lazy because they don't know how you want them to work. And number two, you haven't created an environment that's got systems in it. So if we could take your margin by this, how much would we grow your margin? And they might say, oh, will it go to maybe 30%? So now we have a 30% margin. Your average sale is 100. So we're going to use these strategies. I will train your team how to upsell. We will choose your high margin items. So I will work with you and show you how to analyze your product mix, how to train your salespeople, and have an actual plan to improve the average sale value. So it's at 100 at the moment. How much could we get it to? Do you think it's possible to get it to maybe from 100 to 115 or 1,000 to 1,150? Do you think it's possible if we focused on upselling, putting in the margins, creating a plan to target specific products? Do you think we could take it from 100 to 115? And most of them say yes. Okay, great. I'll show you how to do that. So when you're giving these strategies, it's really important to explain how you will help them do that in a way that works all around the world, because that is our unique selling point. Every strategy has been tested all around the world, and you will show them how it works for a business like theirs all around the world. The next thing we talk about, number of transactions. The number of transactions. If we could get customers buying, instead of buying 2 times a year, they bought 3 times a year. Would that help your business? So, number of transactions. Number 1, teach you how to communicate. I will teach you how to make offers. And have a regular timeline. So we're regularly communicating with your customers with offers in a structured way. And I'll show you how to design the emails and the brochures to do this. Then we look at conversion rate. At the moment, your conversion rate is 25%. The first thing we will do, we'll flowchart your sales process. We will put each step. Number 1, we will script. So I'll teach you how to write scripts so your salespeople know what to say and what to do. I will also help you develop your USP, your unique selling point. The thing that is special about your business that you don't communicate, that your customers will say, oh, I want to deal with you because you've got that something special. So those are 3 of the things we'll do. Do you think we can improve a conversion rate from 25%? Do you think it could go up just a little bit? Could it go from 25% to say 30%? With those strategies, and by the way, here is the 5 ways chart of all the strategies. So I have a laminated sheet that I give to the business owner so they can see I'm only talking about 3 strategies to improve conversion rate, and there's 80. They get an idea that I'm just mentioning a few out of 344 strategies. And then the final thing that I talk about is to get more leads. Number 1, we identify very clearly your target market and what they want. I help you understand what an A-grade client is, so that we want A-grade clients, people who buy well, who really appreciate what you're doing. I also audit the marketing that you're doing now. I look at the way that you write your brochures, the way you write your emails, the way that you communicate with your customers, be it in print, online, or person to person. How are you obeying the golden rules of marketing? AIDA and target, offer, copy, timing. Because many businesses are wasting a lot of money on marketing that's not working. So we're going to measure everything that you're doing, and I'm going to check that it obeys those golden rules and that it makes you a profit. And I'm going to teach you about acquisition cost and lifetime value, so that we increase your leads, from 4,000. I think, do think it's possible to go from 4,000 to possibly, 20% increase, 4,800. Do you think that's possible? Now, these are figures that, once again, they're not accurate because you're not a client, but this is what can happen. So, Mr. Client, and at this point, I get them to use a calculator. Mr. Client, will you multiply 4,800 by 30%? So multiply that by 0.3. And then can you multiply that number by 3? And then can you multiply that number by 115, which gives us a new number here. And then can you multiply this number by 30%? And that will give you your net profit. So this is the new net profit. At this point, because the business owner has agreed to these numbers and they've done the sums, I can then ask for the sale. So I ask for the sale by saying, so for numbers like these, we'd be crazy not to at least give it a go, wouldn't we? Or with a new profit like that, it would really be worth an investment to achieve that, wouldn't it? That is where I ask for the sale. I don't talk any more strategies. I ask for the sale. If they say, yes, that looks good, I then say, let's look at the agreement we work under so you know what you're getting into. So I pull out an agreement and we go through the agreement clause by clause by clause. They select the coaching program that suits them. And then at the end of it, I go through the general conditions, especially the conditions about having to give notice if they wish to stop coaching. So I really strongly position this is a 12-month review cycle. And at the end of 12 months, we'll review and do the next 12 months. Because every time we reach a new net profit, we do the 5 ways again. What are the strategies we can put in place now? So if they need to sell their business, then it's okay. They can give me 1 or 2 months notice and we will finish. But our expectation is it's a 12-month program that people pay either 12 months in advance or 6 months in advance or 3 months in advance or monthly if they choose. But if it's monthly, they make 12 payments in the year, even when there are holidays and we don't have a session every single week. There is only going to be 40 sessions during the year, 40 sessions during the year, because we must have holidays and training. So when I've gone through those general conditions in the agreement, I just keep quiet and the business owner then says something like, oh, well, it looks good, or so what do we do now? And then I say, okay, if you fill in your details, I'll show you how to set up payment and I'll give you something to do to start the coaching right here now. Because that's what I told them in the positioning, that if we could both see the benefit of working together, I'd show them how they could get started right here now. So that's how I show value, how the return on the investment during the DIAG. I look forward to hearing how it works for you. Have an awesome 2021. See ya next year. Bye-bye.